We were somewhere around Barstow, on the edge of the desert, when the drugs began to take hold.
You're either in or you're out. Right now.
I want to gamble.
I never want to hear those words out of your mouth again.
Gambling is not your problem.
Has anybody ever told you before your bad luck?
Most gamblers, when they go to gamble, they go to win.
Those were my mother's dying words.
When we go to gamble, we go to lose. Show me the money.
Get out of here, man.
Show you the money.
Honestly, let's just go. Let's go to Vegas.
Jerry, I want you to say it what you would mean it, brother. Show me the money!
It's the Sports Memory Vegas pregame show.
Peacock! What's that noise? Not a chicken. It's a peacock, baby. What's up, Newman? I don't know what the weather is like in Florida right now, but I know in Indiana it is raining Purdue tears. How's it going?
That's your favorite type of weather, I feel like.
Yeah, sunny with a chance of Purdue tears is without a doubt my favorite weather. How are you, good sir?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, the ACC has 3 teams in the Elite Eight here.
We've talked for, 10 weekends in a row, maybe more than that if you go back to football season. I've trashed the ACC. The ACC is trash. It's a conference where Boston College and Pitt exists, and yet almost half of the Elite Eight is the ACC. Man, we always knew it was a top-heavy conference, but holy cow. I mean, nobody saw this coming from Miami. Nobody saw this coming from North Carolina. I'm in love with Caleb Love. We were talking about I hit my biggest bet ever. I made my biggest bet money-wise, and I hit it last night. All in thanks to Mr. Caleb Love. So the getting's good, as my buddy Anthony texted me this morning. Get out while the getting's good. I ain't getting out because we'll talk about it. But
I mean,
what a fun tourney, man! What a fun tourney.
Yeah. So with these games here, you just got. I feel like we saw this last year, right? The Pac-12 was just down, right? Down. Everyone was down hard on the Pac-12. And then they show out and they have a great tournament. The Big Ten struggled again, which there's no Big Ten teams
Death,
here.
Taxes, and no Big Ten teams.
Right? The SEC has one contender, despite how great their league was.
And it's
all
Arkansas,
year, right?
not Auburn, not Tennessee, not Kentucky, right? Like, no, it's the must bus. The freaking must bus.
What is the difference between Arkansas and all the other SEC teams? You kept picking against them.
And guess what I'm going to do again? Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I'm going to do it again.
So, I mean, this is when we're down to your 4 games. This is kind of fun because you can get some really fun action. You can parlay all of these teams together, make a weekend out of it, and maybe hit some really big stuff, especially if you're trying to get some St. Peter's action.
We got to talk about your buddy's uncle. All right.
We're definitely going to talk about my buddy's uncle.
All right, let's pull this ticket up. It's amazing. Heck of a bet by your buddy's uncle. He took Arkansas plus 10. That's a good bet. Right, yeah. I think we all had Arkansas covering. I don't think any of us, I certainly didn't have Gonzaga losing, but I think we all thought Arkansas was going to play him tough because
I thought there was a chance, but yeah, for sure, 10 points.
We were all heavy on Villanova. Michigan was no good. We were all Texas Tech, but I mean Duke is a good team. Houston was definitely a sexy upset. That crazy uncle took St. Peter's to win.
He sure did.
That crazy son of a bitch took St. Peter's to win. So Newman, do you want to give the situation and let the listeners know what this guy did?
So he had to put a $200 bet down on this crazy parlay with St. Peter's winning, which obviously is going to be the biggest of all the biggest juice.
A lot of juice when you pick St. Peter's to win.
Right. You get into 15 seed who's never made it to the Elite Eight, and you're taking them.
No 15, literally historic. Purdue literally let the first 15 seed ever in. Amazing.
So going into tonight, he's got $200 wager, cash out at $1,400, just over, or he can let it ride and take home 16 grand.
So, man, the cash out's such a good option when you're looking at it on the surface, but you hit the nail on the head. You hedge. Yeah. You know, I'm a hedger. All good bettors are hedgers. I'd like to believe a guy that makes a 5-game parlay and puts $200 down knows how to hedge. But it's hard to say no to $1,400.
Yeah, but if you think about it from the perspective of, I haven't actually won the $1,400 yet, right? So it's not in my count. If I lose on St. Peter's losing, I lose $200. But if I win on St. Peter's winning, I win 16 grand. That's a big difference than 1,400 to 16 grand, man.
$16,000 will get you 2 Super Bowl tickets.
At least. I mean, you could buy a nice car with that. Where you have almost no car payment. You could that's a couple months worth of mortgage for most places at minimum. Yeah.
No, I mean, cash out was the right play, but holy cow.
I think the right play would have been the hedge. But yeah, anyway.
This is a gambling show, people. If you guys ever get tickets like this, send it to us. I'll definitely give you bad advice. I will definitely, as Drew Forbes, the founder of this site, says, I will always tell you the wrong choice.
Yeah. Which will make it easy on you. Just no to not listen.
Speaking of not listening to me, do we want to jump into these 4 games, Newman?
Yeah, let's do that for sure.
All right. So I put in a lot of time into the outline today. So we're going to start with the first game, number 5, Houston versus number 2, Villanova. The 2 seeds the underdog. We just saw this with Duke. Did we learn anything, Newman? It's no brainer to take Villanova plus money, right?
I mean, that is definitely the smart bet, I guess. But I'm on the Cougs, man. As I have
You've been on the Cougs all tournament.
I had them go into the Final Four. Why would I stop now, right?
Because Kelvin Chancellor is a cheater, and he sunk the Indiana program. But
it's not cheating anymore.
It's not cheating.
but yeah, I mean, I need the Cougars to win probably the whole tournament to have a chance in my bracket pool, which I still have a chance because we've lost almost every champion. The ones remaining are Duke, Kansas, and North Carolina. So all teams that have a chance to lose. And I think Houston is as good as any of them, in all honesty.
If Duke and North Carolina lose, I'm in 3rd place. I've done pretty decent. I'm looking at your bracket now.
Yes, you have.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But
well, yeah. I mean, so here's the thing for, a lot of the way the brackets played out with St. Peter's continuing to win, right? Even anyone who had Kentucky going far, whoever that were supposed to play, they probably had Kentucky beating most of those teams anyway. Mm-hmm. So St. Peter's continuing to win helps knock out any of those other teams that may have had Kentucky losing at any point. So it has
any
been
people that had Purdue, any people that had Baylor,
anybody that bet anyone on the Big Ten, yeah.
But it's so Colin Gillespie is the X factor here, right? Like, he's had an incredible tournament. I mean, he's 27 years old. He's been playing college basketball for a decade. I would hope he would play like this, but I mean, he has just been again. He's one of the lines. I mean, you got Wong from Miami, you got Banchero versus Duke, you got Colin Gillespie, and you got the backcourt of UNC, right? Like, if you're looking at guys, it's hard to put anyone above Colin Gillespie right now in this tournament.
The thing about Houston is that they're just such a good team, right? They are all long. They can shoot. They all rebound at a really high clip. They're one of the 3rd best rebounding team in the country. The thing that Villanova has that swings it their way, and this is probably what happened in the Michigan game, is just whenever you have a line like that, where Michigan's just not deep enough to really contend with Villanova, Villanova gets a lead at the end of the game, whatever the line was, you can just throw it out the window because they're going to wind up shooting free throws, and they're the best free throw shooting team in the country,
and one of the best well coached, right? Like Houston almost imploded by that press. That that wasn't Houston. Never mind.
Yeah,
that was
that wasn't
Arkansas.
Houston.
That was almost Arkansas who imploded with that press.
Houston has demolished everyone basically. They're on a mission. I think that this is going to be an excellent game to watch.
So it's the backcourt in Houston. Kyler Edwards and Jamal Shed haven't played this good all year, right? They're up there with the UNC backcourt in this tournament right now. Like Jamal Shed and Kyler Edwards is hitting shots he hasn't hit all year. I mean, he is looking like a borderline All-American. If Shed and Edwards play like they have all tournament, I don't know if Villanova can score enough, Newman.
Well, that's going to be an issue, I think, for them. The rebounding is, I think, going to be an issue for them. And then I just think that Houston's really deep too. And so whenever you see a team that's really deep like this in Houston, and you have a super experienced coach like Sampson here, and you have a team that relies on one player to really, really be the driving factor for him, right? They can throw a bunch of bodies at him and kind of take him out of his game. And let's see what else Villanova has, right?
And Samuels is really good. I mean, I'd love to make it the Collins show.
I'm not saying that Villanova doesn't have any other good players. Obviously, you don't get this far without him, but he is the driving factor of their team, is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So if I can give him, and I say, all right, I want to make somebody else beat me, which is what I want to do, right? Then I feel like a veteran coach like this should be able to figure out a way to make that happen. And for that reason, I just think that Houston's too good. So I'm going to take them here. I'll give you the 2.5 points. But I wouldn't mind throwing some Villanova plus parlay money juice there, because that is pretty nice.
Plus 140. I'm putting the mortgage on it, Newman. I mean, I'm not, but
just throw a parlay with all the underdogs here. Just do it.
It's the way this tournament is going. Speaking of underdogs, we got number 4 Arkansas against number 2 Duke in the second game tonight. We said it. You've heard me say it. I'm fading Arkansas again because I'm stupid. Duke showed me a lot against Texas Tech. I thought Texas Tech was one of the top teams in the entire tournament. But Kansas just Texas Tech, you're playing well. Texas Tech, you're a good team. I got better dudes. Jeremy Roach played his best game of the year. I think he's been a little disappointing as a 5-star, but he was not disappointing Thursday night. Give me Duke and give me the 4. Because I'm just fading Arkansas. I just am. For better or for worse, Newman.
You've been fading them all year. I remember talking to you last weekend, and you said you were talking about how bad Arkansas's defense is. Well, they held their opponent to 39 points in the entire game. That's pretty good defense.
Why you got to bring up that take, bro?
From where I'm from. So the thing about Duke is they don't like to play a lot of defense. Nope. This is definitely a game that's going to be played in probably the 80s. Do you have an over-under here?
147.5.
Yeah.
Hammer the over.
All day.
Hammer.
All day. But yeah, this is definitely a game that's probably going to be played like that. It's going to be a really fun basketball game to watch. A lot of up and down. JD Note is a stud. Paolo Banchero is a stud. And I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to take the points here in Arkansas because I think it'll be close.
You're taking +4. So here's a crazy stat that I saw. Jalen Williams, the big man for Arkansas, has absolutely been the X factor for Arkansas. They have not lost when he's gotten a double-double. Now, he's only had 13 double-doubles, so he's only doing it about a third of the games. But when he gets a double-double, they have not lost. He's gotten a double-double in 2 out of the 3 games in this tournament. If they can get Jalen Williams going, man, he was taking charges. He was hitting hook shots. He was hitting free throws. Jalen Williams was incredible for Arkansas. I think he can match Banchero. I'm also into shady dudes on taking Duke. I'm taking Duke.
Yeah.
I like him.
So I like I like getting the 4 points here for Arkansas, and then I also like finding a way to get some Arkansas money line into any parlays that you're putting there.
So I'm doing the Newman parlay. I'm taking Villanova plus 140. I'm just and then I'm taking Arkansas plus 150. We're already at plus 475, people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump to the next game, which I think has the best team in the tournament right now. I've been up and down on Kansas. Number 10 Miami versus number 1 Kansas. Kansas is a 6-point favorite. Times one of my biggest bets I've lost all year. I put Kansas to beat Baylor, and Baylor beat the doors off of them. But man, McCormick looks good. Ajibe looks good. Braun looks good. Lightfoot's hitting shots. Can the backcourt of Miami, Newman, continue to give teams trouble?
I mean, so looking at this line, my initial thoughts are I like Miami to keep it close within that 6 points. Kansas is a good basketball team, but they're not the normal Kansas good basketball team. You know what I mean? This is a team that has played some very down games, especially when they've come up against a team
they've cost me money this year, Newman. Real money.
Yeah. And I mean, Miami, while I don't necessarily like them, and I thought, there was definitely some teams in here. I thought they would lose USC. They almost did. A couple foul calls go the other way, and like a little bit better ball handling out of USC at the end of that game. And we're looking at USC probably right here. But Miami has played really well in this tournament. They typically do play well. They don't lose a ton of games by double digits. Because Jim Larinaga is going to try to take the air out of the ball most of the time in these games. And it's just like they got to, if Miami shoots well, which they didn't do the first couple games of the tournament, but they did do last night, then they're going to have a chance to pull an upset here. But I expect them to be within the 6 points. So I like the 6 points there. For Miami. I don't think Kansas is a team that is going to really stomp them.
Especially the way Providence closed, right? Kansas didn't close last night very well. I love Al Durham. I made a small bet on Providence to kick that game off. Al Durham showing IU what he should have been. I love Providence. They had a good season, but I didn't. Again, Kansas didn't convince me last night, Newman. They just didn't.
Yeah, I mean they haven't all season really. Like I said, it's not one of the best Kansas teams that we've seen.
They're the best team in the tournament left, though, right?
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, but like Duke has more talent. UNC probably has more talent. Like both those teams are loaded with 5 stars. Agbaji has like become an elite player, right? He's going to be a first round draft pick, probably a lottery pick. But he's not like I still think Banchero's going above him, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, but I was just checking some of these Miami scores. Yeah, Miami didn't lose by more than 4 points all season.
So I'm giving the Brandon Brister curse here.
They lost their second game of the season to UCF by 6 points. So they would still have covered in this scenario, or at least pushed it for you.
Well, I've picked against Miami.
They did get dump trucked by Alabama.
Guess what I'm doing? I'm giving the curse. I'm picking Miami to cover in this game, Newman. You and I are on this same. We've differed the first 2 games. I'm with you. I'm taking Miami because I think Kansas wins, but I think Miami keeps it within 2 to 3 possessions. I really do.
So if you're betting at home, you probably want to take Kansas. But let's throw Miami into that parlay. Let's get them some. We'll take the 6 points and we'll see what our action is.
Update plus 997. Villanova win. Arkansas win. Miami plus 6. We're at plus 1,000, folks. We're at plus 1,000.
Yeah. All right.
Getting into our last game. The best hashtag ever. Hashtag cock up. The Tears. The best Purdue team in 25 years, Newman. They've had good teams. They've had Caleb Swanigan. They've had Isaac Haas. They've had Robbie Hummel. They've had great teams. This was the greatest Purdue team.
They have Jaden Ivey, who is potentially the number 1 pick in the draft. Definitely going in the top 5.
Look, we've been on this show for the better part of 3 months now, Newman. How much did we talk about Oscar Tshiebwe? How much did we talk about KJ Evans? How much did we talk about Jaden Ivey? St. Peter's has beat them all. St. Peter's has beat them all. We got Dougie McBuckets. We got Devin Banks. We got Shailene Holloway. Oh my God, Newman, I'm buying in. They're beating UNC. They're beating Caleb Love, who can't miss a shot. They're beating RJ Williams, who had one of the best Sweet 16 performances there ever was. RJ Davis was incredible. It doesn't matter. You can't beat the Peacocks.
So here's where you take multiple bets. If you're actually going to go ahead and take the other 3 that we had, giving you plus 1,000, I'm going to tell you, go ahead and put 2 parlays down, right? Take one of those parlays and give me St. Peter's money line, and let's see what that juice is.
The juice. It goes from plus 1,000, folks. It goes from plus 1,000 to plus 3,961. It goes to plus 4,000 if you take the cocks.
So
if you cock up, it takes you from plus 1,000 to plus 4,000, folks. I can't even fathom that. You bet $5, you're winning 200. You bet 200, you're winning 800. If you're Newman's crazy friend's uncle and bet $200, you're winning $8,000.
So let's go ahead and throw 100 down on that. And then give me on the reverse side, let's just take UNC money line and let's see where we're at on that.
Yep.
I think it's going to hurt our juice a little bit, but plus 1,000, we're doing plus, pretty well.
We're doing a plus 1,000. So are we taking UNC minus 8 or are we taking UNC money line?
Money line.
That still takes it at plus 1,400. It's only adding 400 onto that, so it's not great, but it's still plus 1,300.
Right.
You bet $100, you're winning $1,400.
Yeah. So there's your betting advice for the rest of this weekend, folks. Go out there and take some of this action because you can really hammer some of these parlays to get some good juice on it.
I mean, okay, Newman. Yes, this is a gambling show, but we gotta talk. Peacocks, right? They're hitting threes that they didn't hit. They were a terrible 3-point shooting team. They only shot 29% last night. But the people that hit shots were good. Banks 0 for 4. Drame 1 for 3. Dougie McBuckets 2 for 3. Lee 2 for 4. The guys that you want shooting those shots are hitting their shots, which is more important.
Yeah, what they did last night is, one, they took the air out of the ball. They played a slower game. They shot their free throws really well down the stretch. And they really fucking battled defensively, right? They hammered the big 7-footers all game. I hate to call out the refs.
I hate to call out the refs. Edey took a punishment, man. They were hanging on him without calling fouls. I loved it.
That does happen sometimes, especially with really, really big guys. Even it used to happen at the NBA level. You watch a guy like Dwight Howard or Shaq, and there'd just be guys all over him. And it's like, this is a foul all day, any other player. But because they're so big, they don't look like they're actually getting fouled, kind of, I guess. And officials just swallow their whistles. It happens.
Yeah. There was one time where I'm pretty sure. So, I got 2 little brothers, right? And sometimes they just hang on your arm, right? And you just swing them. I'm pretty sure that happened once or twice where they just didn't call a foul. Like, they're just hanging on Edey's arm and they're just not calling a foul whatsoever. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
St. Peter's definitely used their depth too. They're like, hey, we got some of these guys on the bench here. You all have 5 fouls.
Changes. They did multiple hockey changes, 5 in, 5 out for 2 or 3 minutes, where they're just like, you named it, like, just foul, just like disrupt that offense. Take 25 seconds off the shot clock, burn a foul, and buy me 2 or 3 minutes. Shaheen Holloway is going to get paid. I mean, his strategy in these games have been incredible, Newman.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I think they can pull it off against UNC, right? What's the difference
UNC's
between
not
UNC?
good. UNC a month ago. If we're talking February 26th, we're talking UNC bubble team.
Yeah, but they're one of the hotter teams playing in this tournament. I mean, not as hot as St. Peter's, who's won 10 in a row, but
They had the
they
best
had
backcourt.
they had a really good stretch down the stretch of the ACC season. They played well in the ACC tournament until they ran into Virginia Tech, who just I don't know, they were too tired. And then obviously they're playing pretty well here in this tournament. So I mean, I would say if I'm betting on this game individually, I would take St. Peter's getting the 8 points. But ultimately, I do kind of expect UNC to win this game. But for your parlay action and for the fun of it, I'm definitely willing to take some St. Peter's there.
As a former guard, as arguably the Colin Gillespie of Indiana basketball. Let's talk backcourts. I just want to talk backcourts, and then we'll get out of here. Would you take Shedden, Edwards, Wong and McGusty, or Davis and Love? Who's the best backcourt? Guards are dominating this tournament as they always do. The reason I love UNC is they're the best guards. They have.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But Houston can fucking shoot, man. They got some good shooters. So
man, Shed is such a guy. I mean, that's an overplayed statement, but like the guy's just a winner, man. I love everything about Jamal Shed.
He's the winningest player. I think they said he's the winningest player in Houston basketball history. Houston basketball, who had some guy by the name of Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, and Clyde Drexler, and still. So there
Jamal Shed is the winningest player. No, so there we go. Let's run it by one more time. You're taking Houston. I'm taking Nova. You're taking Arkansas. I'm taking Duke. We're both on Miami, which means Miami is definitely getting blown out. And we're both on St. Peter's, which means UNC will blow them out. If you're following the insane parlay that we're running, that is either plus 1,400 or plus 4,000, depending which way you take it. Either way, Newman, we got 4 really good games. I mean, right now, I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't prepare for this. Who's winning the national championship?
Houston.
You got Houston? Fuck.
You would hate to see it, and that's why it's going to happen.
I would love to see Nova. I'd love to see Nova, but I think Kansas is going to do it.
Why would you love to see Nova? They've already won 2 national championships like this decade.
What does the outline say? I made two words for the Colin period end period. I love Colin Gillespie so much. He's the greatest thing since Aaron Kraft. I just love it. I love it. Again, guards dominate. Guards forever. Sorry, Paolo Banchero. Sorry, McCormick. Sorry, Jalen Williams. This is a guard tournament, and that's why I would love Villanova to win it. I'd love it.
Yeah, I'm on the Cougars because that's my rooting interest there. I also think that they're really good. I had them going to the Final Four at the beginning of this tournament. I thought that they were really good. I just figured that they might run into somebody here in the Final Four. But
who's the best player left in the tournament? Is it JD Note? Is it Isaiah Wong? Is it Caleb Love? Is it Colin Gillespie? Who's the best player left in the tournament?
You mean it's not Doug Edert?
I love Dougie McNuggets.
I'd probably lean Note or Gillespie.
Yeah. Hard to argue either one of those. You notice we didn't name Ajad. God, the Kansas guy. I botch his name every time.
I think it's Agbaji.
It's so hard. We didn't name Caleb Love. Guys, if you're not watching this tournament, tune in. This tournament's been awesome. We say it every year. Is this the best tournament ever?
So this is definitely one of the craziest tournaments ever, which makes it pretty damn impressive. Obviously, you get the first 15 seed to ever make it to the Elite Eight. You get another double-digit seed in Miami. You've only got 1 seed. There's been chaos everywhere, and I love chaos. I love it.
You called this the chaos tournament before it started. It's absolutely lived up to it. Everyone, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this tournament. We will be back here next week to preview the Final Four. And until then, cock up.
Go Cox. Go Cox.
Go Cox.